Out of all the hundreds of world-famous podcasts, this is one of them. It's the Dave and Doc Podcast.
Masks optional.
Greetings and salutations.
Happy day, happy day. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
It's good.
I'm good. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm good.
It's been that kind of week, huh?
It's been that kind of couple weeks.
It's been that kind of couple, and we'll talk about it.
This
is really our therapy session, isn't it?
Right?
It's
a
a straight up therapy session.
Show number 28?
28.
28. Look at us.
I know, man.
We haven't been canceled yet.
Rockin', I know.
I love it.
The producers are still letting us come back.
That's it, right?
Yes, yes.
It is show number 28, the David Doc Podcast. I'm Dave.
And I am Peppy Bennett.
Welcome,
also known as Doc, right?
Welcome, Peppy.
If you watched or listened to the show last week, you know what we're talking about.
Pepe.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, plus Alexa. That's how it's listed. So I'm going to say it that way.
They have TuneIn minus Alexa.
TuneIn.
I mean, if you have a plus, don't you have to have a minus?
And a multiply. And a divide.
Oh, look at you.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, and all the other shit. Also on YouTube, you can watch the podcast.
Yes.
Should you be so inclined. Our channel is easy to find. You go to search and you type Dave and Doc. That's pretty simple. And if you do that, I would love it if you would subscribe, like, and send us $1,000. That'd be great too. Or you can,
even 500.
Even 500, that'd be fine. Or you can go to the website, and that's DaveandDoc.com. That's Dave AndDoc.com. It's the pause at the end. That's
now
what you do.
On with the program.
Right. You had to do the pause at the end. It's DaveandDoc.com. Dave AndDoc.com. That's the
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
I love
That's
it.
That's the professional broadcaster way.
I love it.
But anyway, wherever you're listening, and for God's sakes, people in Germany are listening, and I don't know.
We appreciate it.
Does
it translate, or do you think it's just listen to my twang all the time? Oh, it's bad. They're probably like, who? Nine. Yeah, I don't know. It's good though.
It's such an angry language.
Kind of is.
It's just. I mean, it's like you just had to be really pissed off.
Yes.
And
yes.
And just say gibberish, and that's German.
It ain't easy to know.
Yeah.
They're way smarter than us.
Even though my lineage is German.
I got some. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a Mueller. Yes.
Meissen.
Of
Meissen men. Right. And without further ado,
look this way.
Right.
Here, sit down here and look this way. For those who haven't read of Mice and Men or haven't seen any kind of iteration of it,
yes, because
there's a lot of movies about it.
Yes, there actually have been.
But let me summarize it for you. Here we go. Sit down here and look this way. That's the end of it. Terrible.
That's Dave AndDoc DOC.com.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
I'm trying, man.
This Sunday.
That's right. Hey, that's right. I know. Man, so I've been having a little bit what I think is laryngoesophageal reflux, and I was getting a little hoarse, and I started getting a little worried. Not just because of my livelihood and having to ask questions, but I was worried about the podcast. Right? I was like, oh my gosh, if my voice doesn't hold up, what will we do? A little Pepsid fixed that, so there you go.
Pepsid.
So I'm feeling pretty good.
So your acid reflux isn't at the level that mine is?
No.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah. I did buy the hot ones. Hot sauce pack.
Yeah, you did.
And folks, just so you know, I've been getting a lecture this morning from my doctor, who is this guy sitting across from me like, Dave.
I mean, the Apollo pepper, there's no reason. Do you know what's in that? I looked at the ingredients. Do you know what's in it?
Fucking kerosene.
Apollo pepper.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so Apollo is
vinegar.
So Apollo pepper.
Apollo pepper extract and some other thing Apollo pepper. So basically, all
I didn't even know there was a pepper called Apollo.
That's what it's. Oh no. Oh yeah.
I thought it was like the.
No, it's not like the spaceship, Dave. Okay.
It might have the
Apollo 13. Oh, we're freezing, Jesus. We're up in space. I mean, if Tom Hanks can't rescue you, what's going to happen?
You're screwed.
Right? I mean, that's it.
So there's a pepper called the Apollo pepper.
I mean, according to the
I didn't know
ingredients,
that.
I didn't know that either, but apparently
I thought it was like some Trinidad scorpion.
No,
times
it's the
7.
Apollo. I mean, Apollo, it's godly, right?
Right.
In the
in mythology. So I didn't know there was a. So I thought it was like the Carolina Reaper.
I don't know. It says Apollo pepper, and I was like,
I don't even know what the Apollo pepper is.
I didn't have time to look. It's like,
I'm a little nervous now.
It's like how many Schofield units?
2 million plus.
Yeah, see, that's stupid. Why? Who would do that anyway?
Me.
Listen, I know. I mean,
I love hot stuff.
You know what we ought to do?
What's that?
We ought to just sample some of this on the show.
That was kind of my idea.
We should. You're so smart.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. We should do. Okay, so we'll have to do that. Okay, we'll do that. Now we're going to have milk. Okay, I'm not doing this stupid water mess where you activate the pepper words. I'm gonna have milk, and we're also not eating a full chicken wing with the sauce on it either. You can forget that too. I will taste it.
Should we have salt licks in here so we could just?
No, because I'm gonna turn the jug of milk up like Adam Richman on Man vs. Food and just let it pour over my face.
I thought we could have salt licks. I know somebody that has horses, so I could probably get some salt.
Did you know? It's so bad. You couldn't let it go.
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't let it go.
I can't ever let it go.
We actually do have this is actually so we have deer out behind my house. It's a family of deer, and they're actually. You saved it, gosh. And so there actually is a salt lick out there behind my house. I had no idea. It's up
really
up
behind your
fence,
house,
up along the fence line. It's pretty cool because they
really?
And so they will come and I mean you can see where they pause. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna have to replenish it because I mean they I don't know how big a traditional one is because I'm ignorant to that, but I mean you can see where they have licked quite a bit of it down, so we probably need a new one to attract them.
A block like this usually lasts me about a week.
I mean that makes sense. Amazingly, you're not hypertensive. How do you maintain yourself, Dave Man? Renal function of steel. That's it.
It's all brought to you by Monster Energy, which I also got a lecture about.
One a day.
So,
I have to stop now because I put the Mio in mine, and I'm getting way more caffeine than you are.
Is this the real Mio?
Oh yes.
So
yes.
you're not doing the fake stuff
anymore?
anymore?
Laura took pity on me. She bought me like a 6-pack of Mio.
Look at you.
Now that's true of the cherry. The cherry is my favorite. She bought me a 6-pack.
You like that flavor? Yes, I hate the cherry flavor.
Of the meat? Really?
I hate
the black cherry?
I hate all cherry flavors.
Really?
Yeah,
have you tried this? You should try this.
I haven't tried the Mio, but...
Oh, it'll amp you up, let me tell you.
Well, you told me I couldn't have Mio anymore.
Did I?
Yeah. Well, you told me that I had to so...
I think you were getting too much vitamin. I think it was the vitamin supplement, like you were getting too much vitamin.
So what it was, so it was like it was a hydration thing, right? And I drink a ton of water during the week.
Yeah.
And so I was putting it in my water.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like putting a few drops. Like I'd go
no, I do a squirt. Yeah, that's my problem.
Oh, no, I would go through a whole bottle a day.
Yeah, that's too much.
And you said, yeah, you need to stop that.
Yeah, that was too much. So yeah, that's a better
it turned my poop a different color.
Yes, that would do it.
Yeah. My Mio was
Mio. The O-ring. The O-ring was the problem. Yeah.
My gasket turned a different color.
My gasket is now cherry flavored.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. We got to get to the dad joke.
That's right. Yeah. Salt licks and horses
and dad jokes.
And dad jokes.
So here we go. So without further ado, these come from Jennifer. So shout out to Jennifer this week. All right.
Does she go by Jennifer or Jen?
She goes by Jennifer.
Not Jen?
Not Jen. I mean, you could probably call her Jen.
Well, I mean, I know.
She truly goes by Jennifer.
Yeah. So there's people that I know that say, call me Jen. Do not call me Jennifer.
Or Jenny.
And then there's people
Jenny from the block.
Is she from the block?
She's from around here.
I'm from the Salt Lick.
She's I like her. She's a good girl. She's good. She's good. We used to work together. She's awesome. Yeah.
Do I know Jennifer?
I don't think you know Jennifer.
Okay.
No. But anyway, so these are for Jennifer.
Okay.
Okay. So
Thanks, Jennifer.
without further ado.
All right.
So, and she's in healthcare. So these are kind of so a couple of these are healthcare. So
Okay.
So I had to send my hearing aids off for repair. Did you hear about this? Did you know I did this?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
So I had to send my hearing aids off for repair.
I'm sorry, what? No, I'm just kidding.
That would have been better. So I had to send my hearing aids off for repair.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing since.
Good Lord.
We had a pretty cool week. We bought some hens that can
Yeah.
count their own eggs.
Yeah?
They're mathema chickens.
Shit.
Yes.
Shit. Mathematician.
Yeah, and so
I apologize, folks.
I was feeling no, he did. He loves it. So I was feeling a little under the weather this week. So I actually ended up having to go to the doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, you've got the peekaboo virus.
The peekaboo virus. The peekaboo
Peek-
virus.
peekaboo virus.
I can't say that.
The
Okay.
peekaboo virus.
Yeah, the peekaboo virus.
He sent me straight to the ICU. You like that one.
Good Lord.
You're trying.
They had a better build up, I'll say. There's a better build up there.
And then
Oh, we have another.
Oh yeah!
okay.
No! We got to do 4 when there's submissions like this. This is good stuff. I mean, I'm proud of her. I mean,
This is good.
So, so I was actually we had to take a little man to the doctor yesterday. So I was actually off. So then we went to a bookstore afterwards. Okay?
Right.
And they had some some pretty good self-help books, and one of them was how to solve 50% of your problems. So I bought 2.
We were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but it reminds me of George Carlin's rant about self-help. He said, why do you need a book for self-help? He said, it's self-help,
Help.
you moron.
Help yourself. Right?
Oh,
Right? I love it.
rest in peace, George Carlin.
I know, man. Don't drink and smoke.
Right, and do coke and
well,
other crap that he did.
I mean, in the cocaine. Speaking of that, NFL is back.
cocaine.
I'm thinking more of the ayahuasca though. How about that big news? Little Aaron Rodgers tripping, little psychedelic on his back-to-back, 2021 MVP awards. Drinking the South American, juice, sipping on some scissorp.
So Aaron Rodgers to me,
He's lost his mind.
so I mean, and I think we've talked about him before. Like he's just kind of a listen,
maybe once or twice.
the guy's unbelievable.
Oh no,
I mean, if you get, the 49ers had the Packers beat because we can't beat them in the regular season. We can sure as hell beat them in the playoffs, but we can't beat them in the. So, he had 30 seconds left, and he flipping through a touchdown because the guy can flick his wrist and throw it the length of the field.
That's correct.
Accurately, not
correct.
just
That's
like
correct.
he's not like let me think of some other terrible quarterback like Tom Brady. Like he didn't just throw it up there, right? Like he can actually accurately. Brady can't too. I'm joking, but I mean, I'll give him his due. Jackass. But I mean, it's unbelievable.
Joe Milton from Tennessee, who has a cannon but couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah.
Like you can throw it 80 yards, but it's in the bleachers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I mean, like, so he's unbelievable, and like he doesn't look like an athlete. He looks like me. Like he
is a little bit taller.
Really
Little
taller than me.
Low. I wish I was a
don't-
little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
I don't understand how he could be taller than me.
Just a little
I'm
bit.
so tall.
Just a little bit. I think he's got about 10 inches on you.
In height. Hey,
In height.
hey,
Hey-yo.
Hey.
Hey-yo.
Hey. Lindsay, get in here. No.
Oh, there's a Kevin Hart joke somewhere about that. Oh,
Right.
Good stuff.
So great athlete.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Tripping.
But he's tripping on the ayahuasca. Ayahuasca.
Supposedly.
But this is a big thing.
a long time.
People go to. So Ron White of all people, went to another country and like did ayahuasca.
I mean, does that really surprise you?
No,
that
it
Ron
doesn't.
White, who sitting there with his scotch or whatever it is and his cigarette doing his comedian show, and he does both the whole show and they replenish. That would not surprise me that he would be doing a little ayahuasca.
Yeah, so he was talking about like
talking about his son Tater Tot. You know, they call me Tater Salad. This is my son.
I love Ron White.
They told me you had the right to remain silent,
But like a ton of people,
but I didn't have the ability.
But I didn't have the ability. He said, I got thrown out of a bar, and they didn't ask me to leave.
That's right. That's it.
They didn't request that I walk out. He's like, I got thrown out of a bar. But so a lot of people have went on Rogan's show to talk about ayahuasca.
Yes.
And like doing ayahuasca.
I mean, there's lots of ceremony. I mean, you know, it's a South American thing. I mean, this is not just some, you know, whatever.
Is
I mean,
it a liquid that you drink?
So it is a drink. It's got. I don't know what. You know, the.
Is it in Monster Energy?
So, are you tripping right now? Let me hit you with some non-repeating hand motions. Does that and the mood lighting that we have in the back?
Yeah, the mood
right. 49er red. You know, so. It is a drink, and so the ayahuasca is a plant. It is an actual plant.
Okay.
So there's like or I guess whatever I don't know if that's the actual root, but whatever it is, it's got plant-based derivative stuff, and then they do whatever else they do to it. So yeah, so I guess he's drinking that and meditating or whatever he's doing, and it's supposed to. So basically, the principle, the scientific principle. There's a substance in there called dimethyltryptamine, DMT. You've probably seen this because, I mean, they were talking about this on multiple sports shows because, like, DMT is actually banned. It's on the NFL's prohibited substance list because it's actually a Schedule I drug substance, just like heroin and ecstasy. So, I mean, it's in the same.
Shit.
It's in the same category. And so it's just that psychedelic. But so what happens is that messes with your serotonin. It basically blocks your serotonin receptors, and that just sets off this chain reaction of stuff within your brain to, I guess, make you have a vision. And so the interesting thing, you know, and I didn't know this because I thought you had to like smoke it or inject it or something like that. I guess they figured out a way to harness it in a powder form or something within this beverage, this drink, and it, yeah. So he's sipping on some scissor and just rolling.
So I mean, I've never tried it. I've never drank ayahuasca. But
you can look at me and tell that I have not had any.
So, I mean, what do you think about the people that say that they do this though, and like they say it changes their life? Because I mean, it's not just like
I'm sure it does.
But I mean, right? But I mean, it's like there are people. I mean, like, and it's not like it's a small group. I mean, like tons of people come forward and say, you know, I did this. I had a vision, or it made me think about something, like, and it completely changed my life. Like they said, I saw things in a different light, you know, or are they just being, or is this just somebody? Is this just a hippie saying, yeah, I got super high?
I mean, no, right. I mean, basically, I think what I take out of that is you ingested it and it altered your natural body chemistry for a finite period of time.
Yeah.
And I mean, you took a psychedelic drug. There's other ones. I mean, there's ecstasy. I mean, cocaine. I mean, LSD. I mean, so you know, you altered yourself. The difference is you know, they're not. This is not known to be one of those nasty habit forming, you know, selling on the street for, you know, people are getting shot over it's being imported from other countries. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's kind of the difference is like, well, yeah, you did this, but it doesn't have quite the stigma that comes with some of these other things. And so, I mean, how much does it really affect you? I mean, I haven't ever used it and I don't really plan on it, but I mean, I'm not real keen on doing stuff that alters my neurotransmitters.
Right.
You know, I mean, stress alone will do that, and then I can handle that.
I mean, but do you believe people that say that like it puts them in like, And again, I don't even really know.
They're just rewording the fact that it made him high.
Yeah, I mean,
that's it.
Right. But I mean, there's people that like say that they, they saw things that, they get real philosophical about it. I mean, do you think that's a thing?
So do potheads.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I mean, I believe that it does alter. I mean, we know it alters the chemical imbalance. We do. And
right.
So when you're in there messing around with serotonin and dopamine and, acetylcholine or whatever else you're jacking around with. Yeah, I mean, I believe it that they have this thing. Now, is it some spiritual experience? I would think absolutely not. I would be like, everybody leave me alone. Oh my gosh. Because I'm hyper aware as it is. I don't need to intensify my journey.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, let's turn it off. But they're like wanting to intensify. And I'm like, no, I don't need any of that, I don't need to see the vapors of light coming out of the light or the voice, the words coming out of your mouth floating to me from the microphone, the sweet, what, I don't need any of that.
I had a friend of mine once who I did radio, so everybody around me was high all the time. Okay.
Ooh.
There was people doing drugs at the radio station that I worked at.
Of course they were.
I walked in one morning. There was powder all over listen, I mean, it was... the drugs were free. Had I chosen to...
Because we all just want to be big rock
right?
stars and live in hilltop houses driving 15 cars.
So, I mean...
The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny because we just won't eat.
That
Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. That's my favorite. In the video with Ted Nugent going.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, yep, that's about right. And Kid Rock's in that too going...
And so
Nickelback case for those of you who didn't know.
Yes, it's
who
Nickelback.
Who didn't know anyway.
Nickelback, not quarterback,
not
Dimeback.
No, not Dimeback.
It's Nickelback.
It is Nickelback.
Chad Kroeger.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, a guy that I worked with there who had, he wasn't actively taking any kind of drugs, but he did have a lot of good stories, and talked about doing some kind of hallucinogen like acid or something. I forget what he was doing. But he said we're driving. He says we're driving back from wherever we're at, and probably shouldn't have been driving a car. The guy that was
right.
He was in the passenger seat. He said, but it was raining, and so the windshield wipers were on. And he said that he started having this vision. They were listening to Zeppelin.
Of course they were.
And he said he saw musical notes.
Yes.
Coming out of the like air conditioning vents and stuff, and it was filling up the car. And he said he rolled down his window so they could get out. And he said then he started looking at the windshield wipers, and he's like, they were in
rhythm
beat.
with
they were in rhythm with the beat. And he said the whole trip, the whole vehicle trip. Let me be specific. So the whole vehicle trip, he said, probably took like 10 minutes. He said it felt like hours, and he said he still remembered like the windshield wipers. And he said in the car
on the stairway
right
to heaven.
Listening to Going to California, and
right.
so it was filling up with with the musical notes and everything. And he's like, he rolled his window down and everything. But I'm like, that's to be so high, intoxicated, whatever you want to call it, to like start seeing things like that's scary.
Yes.
I mean, that's scary.
It's not good for you, Dave. Let's have a blunt that stuff is not good for you. It is not. And so I don't find this, I don't think this is good for people. But whatever, I'm also not in charge. And the NFL they're not going to be able to do anything to him because they didn't catch him. And I mean, obviously they're not drug testing for it because, I mean, who's drinking ayahuasca? Aaron Rodgers. Is anybody else? I don't know. Shannon Sharp was like, hey, it's fine, but he's going to get a phone call from Goodell because it's got the DMT in it. Unlock your potential.
My guess is
NFL MVP.
Aaron Rodgers has never been drug tested in the NFL. Maybe when he first came in. That's my guess.
You think?
Oh, I don't think that. I think that.
What about Trey Lance?
He's hired a cut. how can I say this without
This is
getting myself in trouble?
This is some conspiracy stuff right here. This is.
I worked at a location once, and they paid me well. I left on my own accord. But
how are you tying this in with NFL drug testing?
I'm getting there.
Okay. That's what I love. It's like we can start here and we got here with no problem. I like it. Okay.
And they would routinely, randomly drug screen people.
Oh. How about that?
But there was no randomness about it. Because I was, I got randomly drug screened there probably 7 times.
Yes.
And finally someone said, because I said, hey, how is my name coming up? We've got 1,100 people that work here. How is my name coming up? And they're like, we have to have somebody that is negative.
Oh,
That's what they said to me.
Now that.
So first of all, it's like,
oh my God.
So first of all, it was, well, hey, thanks for not thinking that I do drugs. That's great, because I felt like you guys thought I was doing drugs.
Like, what are you saying? Don't let these blue eyes fool you, okay? I'm not
right. So and it was always 4 of us, and I swear I was there all the time, and I was only there because I was a negative, and the other people, they assumed were doing drugs.
So it doesn't. I got it.
But they had to have somebody.
Right.
First of all, they had to have somebody like management level or something, and
right.
like, you know.
Well, and because if everybody came up positive, it'd be like, hold up, this is false, because how's everybody positive? Like, well, because every one of you are doing drugs.
Right.
So I got you. So you were the control.
I was the control. I'm like,
look at you, science
how
experiment.
boring and white am I? Right.
Well, I mean. Did you tell them we didn't have a podcast then, did we?
No.
You should have been like, listen, I have a podcast, okay? We're talking about ayahuasca and other things.
I mean, like I got
Bart
selected.
Stillwell and Peppy Bennett, okay? You just back yourself up. Stop making me pee in the cup.
I went so many times. Like I knew the nurse that was there. Like I knew, like I knew everybody by name.
Because we have to have somebody negative. Yeah, because they would remember you because they're like, hey, you're back. And the other people aren't. Surprise, surprise. See, you were getting rid of people without even having to do anything.
That's true. Yeah.
Strong work, man. That's like the most efficient form of firing somebody. It's like, well, tough break.
Yeah.
My pee was clear. Take that. Take that.
I mean, it was probably full of chicken grease because I was pretty heavy.
That's okay. That's all right.
It's about the time that I started coming to your office.
There you go. See, so you got all zen.
When you told me I was fat.
Increased body habitus.
You were nice about it.
I was.
But you told me I was fat. And I was.
I said, when we're a little overweight, I always say, food is really good. Food is really good. We're very, and my new thing is we're very blessed to have food, because there are places that don't have food, but we got to eat a little less of it. And we got to work some exercise into our.
Have you ever just told somebody, like, been super direct with someone and says, listen, you're fat and you're going to die?
I have had to. I will say morbidly obese. I don't just straight up say fat, because most people,
I can't wait for this explanation. Go ahead.
It's pretty, honest to goodness, most people are pretty good people. They're sensitive about it. A lot of times they just don't know what to do about it. Now, sometimes people get a little chippy and they're looking for other excuses, and I'm like,
how do you not know you're fat, though?
No, they know that they are.
I mean,
but they don't want to take any responsibility. And so what I try to do is say, listen, and again, it's not mean, because if you're mean, they're not going to come back.
It's my thyroid, doc.
Or they blame it on other stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but there's, and so I try to focus on. I'm like, do some small stuff. Change a few little things that are positive, and then we just go from there. But I've had to have that conversation, because they're like, my joints just hurt all over. I need pain medicine. And I'm like, no, you need to lose about 150 pounds, and then you won't hurt anymore. And you were eating this. This really happened. you were eating a sandwich when I came in here to see you.
Holy shit! Are you
Yes, this really happened. This was this was a few years ago, and they were eating a sandwich, and I was like, and I get it because they had fasted. They had fasted for their fasted for their labor. They brought a lunch. They brought lunch. Now, you can't make this up. There's
Bring a box of Popeye's chicken.
Look at this face. You know I can't. Oh, it was a Subway sandwich with chips and a drink. No, they went to Subway.
Was the sandwich wrong? I bet they made it wrong. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't know, but it was a foot long. That's the other thing I remember too. Is it was not just
a foot
and I was like, really?
Hey man, you can't wait another 5 minutes like you.
It was a female. It was a female. It was a female, and was getting really irritated. And I was like, it was a. I think it was.
It's just like showing up. This is like showing up to a drug screen.
I think
smoking a joint.
I think you're right. Is it what? What's wrong? Why does everybody want to go to Crystal all of a sudden? What's going on?
Where's the cup you want me to pee in? Okay.
What happens if I miss?
I peed in the parking lot. Can you go scoop it up?
Can you get some of that? Can we get like a pipette and pipette it up?
So listen. So you fast before, which by the way I don't do when I come to see you. Just so you know,
you don't fast for 4 hours at least.
Oh, for 4? Oh yeah.
I'm not saying like you don't do it all day. I mean, 8 hours is best.
Yeah, no, definitely 4.
8 hours is best.
I don't ever eat.
Well, that's true too. Most things 4 hours. Most things are going to look okay at 4 hours, or if they're not, then we can say something's really
okay.
But yeah, 8 hours is preferred. So yeah, it was right around. It was right.
So this lady, she fasted for
because what she did
4 hours
because the appointment was right after lunch. It was right after your tradition, and she had the meal, the combo. I think it was.
I don't know.
It was either the BMT or a spicy Italian. I think it was a spicy Italian, and I was just like, and you're mad because you're talking about your joint pains, and I mean she was over 400 pounds.
So,
and I was like. I mean,
when you walk into the room, did you just start laughing?
No, because I mean, like I said, you have to, because I want to help. That's why
I'm not a doctor.
And I'm like, people, I really am trying to help. So don't give me attitude because I do actually care and I listen and I mean, and so
but my joint pain.
Eating a damn spicy. I'm pretty sure it was spicy Italian. I'm like, really? They got mayonnaise on her mouth, and all. It was like you didn't know. See, you have no idea the stuff that I see, man. And
who the hell brings a lunch to go see your doctor? That's what I don't like. You're licking chicken bones clean.
Sometimes I think this stuff only happens to me, but I know it doesn't. I know it happens to other people. There's all kinds of craziness.
Who does that? Other than her,
yeah, and so they moved out of state, so I don't see her anymore. So yeah, she and her family moved away. Nothing to do with us. It was work related and whatever. So I don't see this person anymore. So it kind of some of the stress kind of took itself away, probably for both of us, because she knew that I wasn't just going to give her what she wanted.
Did she move to Texas to go see Dr. Now? I'm sorry. You're awful fat. You're probably going to die.
Right. No, I think they went to Georgia, if I remember correctly.
That's better barbecue.
It was about 6 years ago.
Good barbecue down there.
And so, right. And so the other thing was I try to have that conversation too about perhaps bariatric surgery might be something to consider.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing I remember that she was like, no. And I was just like, you don't want me to help you in other ways. Basically, you want pain medicine and phentermine. And that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not getting that here. I'm sorry. You got the wrong guy. Anyway, so yeah, but it was eating a sandwich. I'll never forget it. Because you smell the Subway. Like I'm going through the door and you smell the bread. And I'm like, what the,
the next appointment I have with you that I'm going to do this now. It's
just bring me one too. We'll eat it together.
Yeah, I'll bring two.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I won't go to Subway because I don't like Subway.
I appreciate it. You can go wherever. Penn Station. Ooh.
Anywhere is better than Subway. I do not like Subway.
I know we've talked about that. Because I had my Subway experience where they couldn't get me anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to football. Back to Aaron Rodgers. You know what? he's tripping. He's winning MVPs. He's gone hippie. He's gone hippie. That's the only thing I can say. He can still he's got more athletic ability in his pinky than I probably have my whole body.
Probably.
I mean, and that's it. Plays golf. He can do anything. So.
And he's almost been a 49er.
I know,
once.
and I can't smack. So I can't really smack talk. I'm just like, dude, don't do that.
Like the offer was on the table last year.
Yeah, I know.
Like the 49ers basically said, okay, and Aaron Rodgers said, okay, and the Packers said, no, we're not letting you out of your contract.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, he was going to be a 49er.
Well, he's from Southern California.
That's where he wanted to play. And
I
they took Alex Smith instead of Aaron Rodgers, which, again, I'm not.
Alex Smith, pretty daggum good quarterback. I mean, now he ended up the difference is he ended up not being the caliber of Aaron Rodgers, but Alex Smith not a bad quarterback.
A great.
Great. I mean, really and true. Great quarterback. And what an awesome story. I mean, basically, he should have not had a leg anymore. And wins comeback player of the year. That he deserved that.
What I will say about Alex Smith, and people will disagree, and I don't care because I'm always right. Why would you disagree with me? Had he went to Green Bay and got to play and work and practice behind Brett Favre, he would have had the exact same success as Aaron Rodgers. I have no doubt because he went to a shitty 49ers.
So, I mean, it does bring up an interesting point.
And he had 5 or 6 different coaches. And then the next thing you know, the 49ers in the NFC Championship game and a couple of fumbles kept them out of the Super Bowl that year. And the Giants ended up making it.
Yep.
And Alex Smith was amazing. And then the next year, he was amazing, got a concussion, missed 2 games. And then Jim Harbaugh made the great decision to put Colin Kaepernick in, or we would have won a Super Bowl there too. I
can't disagree.
You can't tell me that Alex Smith at quarterback and that Ravens team. I'm just telling you.
No, the
49ers would have won that.
His game matched up way better.
Yeah,
than Kaepernick's game.
And I mean, here's Kaepernick who has no experience in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the Ravens are like, you're going to run? No, you're not.
Right.
We're gonna force you to be a quarterback.
My name is Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
And my name is Terrell Suggs.
My name is
Ed Reed.
And I have a knife and a gun.
And there is nothing that you can throw at us that's going to be successful because we know you can't throw your way out of this.
I do not like Ray Lewis.
I know.
I just don't.
We talked about that before, and I know.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like Ray Lewis.
Ed Reed, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, I know.
Ray Lewis, I think he's holding on to some information about something.
He probably is. But again, I'll say this, reformed, after all that craziness, you never heard anything else bad and did a lot for the community there in Baltimore. I mean, maybe he just needed that. But again, I get it. And we'll never know. Never know.
We'll never know.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I don't. Plus, he played for Baltimore. And
right. I get you.
I like the Ravens.
I get you. So your team, man, they're in it to win it, and they're fighting.
Yeah.
They're fighting.
Which I absolutely love.
Fred Warner.
I absolutely love.
Going after Brandon, who name I can't say. Ayuk. It's like
Brandon Ayuk.
Ayahuasca Ayuk. Maybe he's doing the ayahuasca.
He probably is.
Fist fighting. And Shanahan was like, I like it. Let's go. Don't throw punches. Because you throw punches, you get kicked out of the game, and then we're in trouble. When you're fighting with each other, get mad, but don't take it to that level.
That's what he's saying in public. But let me tell you, as a football coach myself, you flipping love it. When you get a fight in practice, you've got guys that are like, I know you're on my team, but you are not running that route, or you're not getting away with this. And then you have a wide receiver that actually stands up to a linebacker of that caliber and says, that was
spilling over because didn't he hit one of the other guys? He was like, was that them or was that another team? He was like, somebody got ended up in the concussion protocol.
No, that wasn't.
Who was that? Who was that? Because that's happened this season too.
I know that happened. That wasn't with the Niners.
That was. I don't remember who that was, but somebody was like messing and they kept messing and then it's escalating up.
Fred Warner was just having like a week of unbelievable like he was everywhere.
He's on it.
Because I think he's the best middle linebacker in the game.
He's fantastic.
And it just like he was just on. And they were talking about it all week. They're like, this guy, he's everywhere. Like he's actually playing coverage. Like, Elijah Mitchell is not able to run the ball because Fred Warner's there. And again, when it's the defense of your own team, they kind of know some of the plays.
Right, you play the play a little bit. I mean,
Right.
it's impossible with as much film study as those guys have had to do. I mean, you just have it memorized. And you're like, well, here he comes, bam.
Yeah, but he was just having a great week of practice, and like I guess it just kind of.
His interview, he said Brandon has the ability to be next level, and so I just wanted to challenge him to see what he was going to do. And he said, I kind of like it, basically that he was getting with me back. He was getting back with me.
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. I mean, when I heard there was a fight, I'm like, good. That's exactly what I mean. That's
you want to have the emotion and being fired up.
Locker room fights, no, because locker room fights is just you're just being
right.
What's a word that
when people getting there's selfish.
You're being a little
turdish,
wimpy.
Well, wimpy.
That's a word.
That's a different word.
Locker room fights are stupid. On field, like practice fights, awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, two kids going after each other. I think it's great because it just shows they care and whatever. But you just don't want them getting hurt either.
No,
that's you don't want. So
that's the only thing is you're like, don't break your hand smacking them in the helmet, or don't hit them in the balls, or what. I mean, you know what I'm saying. Don't take scuffle, but like don't go like backstreet brawl like crazy.
Like the Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice fight that time, where they were standing there and it's like, you guys have helmets on. What are you doing?
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. But that was just two competitors fired up and getting after each other. And it was all good.
The greatest of all time.
And they're also both sitting there going, yeah, we're not really going to hurt each other too much because this is how we making bank.
Yeah.
And we're the best.
So I was watching a video on YouTube. I guess it was from ESPN. I'm not sure. Where they ranked the rosters of every team. Mm-hmm. And the 49ers were ranked 18th. Like, what? Like, listen, maybe they won't win a game this year. Maybe they go 0-17, but you can't tell me that is the 18th ranked roster.
I think so. It's the analytics, and so what I think that they do is they take your people and where they finished or whatever stat wise and whatever else.
Yeah,
and then they probably look at the draft, kind of what you did in the draft, and then I think that's how they come up with that. So again, it ain't nothing but a number, which we're going to talk about numbers later on something else. But yeah, I mean, great. I'd be like, that's fine. They've completely underestimated us. Good. Let's go out here and show them why we're not that. So I would use the flip of that and say, really? I don't think so.
And the reason that stood out to me,
who else wants some of Debo?
Because the reason it stood out to me was like now ESPN, even Stephen A.
Smith,
Jackwad,
SAS,
all these people are saying, hey, we've watched practice with Trey Lance, and like we think the Niners are definitely Super Bowl contenders, and we think that they might be the third best team in the NFL. So hang on, so you're telling me that their roster is the 18th ranked roster? It's like,
I really think they're using an analytic thing, and I think there's a lot of unknown. Again, is that accurate? I don't think it's going to be.
You know who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Whoever gets hot toward the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
That's basically what happens every year.
Yeah. No, I think that's very
And there's
reasonable.
Teams that just maintain the level of hotness.
It's not going to be the Rams. I'll go ahead and tell you that. I'm going to call it from the cheap seats. There's no way. I mean, and Stafford's elbow's screwed up. Yeah. He's got like, a UCL problem. I don't even know how that happened. Because that's not a traditional.
He should just retire.
Well,
he's played enough years. He won a Super Bowl.
I think he was really hoping.
His wife's hot. Just go home. Just go home. Just go home. Right? It's like being married to Carrie Underwood, right? It's like, what are you doing? Just go home.
Her husband did. He retired.
That's what he should do.
He had a great career.
I would too. I'd be like, oh, hey guys, I can come out here and like do all this stuff, but I got other stuff to do.
I get you. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really interested to see who actually gets hot.
Yeah.
I think the Packers will blow it again. I really do. I think this will be another year of some frustration.
I don't think they have the offense to do it this year. I actually can see the Packers actually being a bad team this year.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think
they remind me of the 49ers several years ago under Jim Harbaugh. Like, it looked good on paper, but there has been enough that's happened that they just turned out to be they were an 8-8 team that year.
I'm gonna be really interested.
Yeah.
Really and truly. I mean, because I think it's going to be a true test of how well his receivers have figured out what they're supposed to be doing and what's Aaron Rodgers got left in the tank.
Yeah.
Because you lost your number one option, but there's also some young blood in there. You never know if they put the work in. I don't know. It'd be, but I think they'll blow it again. I really do.
The coaching staff's really good.
Cowboys will choke. They choke every year.
Aaron Rodgers,
it's not their year.
I think Aaron's probably the best quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah,
really.
and I mean, I think that so you have a great coaching staff and the best quarterback, so you always have a chance.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't think they're going to do it.
And the Cowboys, they'll end up firing their coach midseason. McCarthy's going to be gone. I mean,
there's just too much. There's always just too much drama surrounding them. It's just not in this day and age with all this media stuff. There's just no way to get away.
The common denominator there is
Jerry Jones. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's the biggest problem.
I mean, he basically ran Jimmy Johnson out of town after you'd won back-to-back Super Bowls. Yep. Great coach.
And basically stole one with Switzer. I mean, the reason they won that was because the team was phenomenal, right? I mean, Barry Switzer, I mean, okay.
The only team that could beat the Cowboys during that time were the 49ers. That was it. And that's not because, yes, there's a big SF thing here. But I mean, I'm a Niners fan, but that was just, there was only two teams.
Right.
It was the Cowboys and the Niners. That was it.
Right.
And the Packers were coming on with Favre, and some other teams were coming up. But for like 4 years, there was two teams, and it was the Niners and Cowboys. And that's just how.
Well, I mean, going back in history, I mean, there have been some wonderful. I mean, Cowboy Niners. I mean, it's just
the catch.
Dwight
Cowboy fans.
Dwight Clark. Rest his soul.
Joseph Montana, the greatest quarterback that has ever walked onto a football field ever in the history of the world. Joseph Montana. Just throwing that out there.
Just don't know. I don't know. Hard to say.
It's not hard to say at all.
Hard to say.
It's so easy for me to say.
I mean,
I saw a list.
Old 18 and TB12. That's just to get you riled up. But we're excited, So preseason, Hall of Fame game was. I know because I'm gonna get you fired up. We got other stuff to get you fired up about. The Hall of Fame game. That there's
two JV teams going at it.
There was no reason. There's no reason. I mean, it's like, yep. There's Jarrett Stidham. He's having a decent backup career.
And I didn't even know who was going to play in that game until like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I looked it up. I'm like, who's playing in the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
Like,
the Raiders.
Raiders and the Jaguars?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Like, what? What?
I mean, I don't know.
And so the Niners and Packers, by the way, are playing next Friday.
Yes, I was going to ask. Yes.
And so, like, that's not the Hall of Fame game? Or Niners Cowboys? Or Steelers Cowboys?
It is a little surprising that they don't pick some kind of I mean, even if you played backup players, but like the traditional.
Like Steelers Cowboys would be wonderful.
Like a traditional matchup. Yeah. Or like a Super Bowl of ages ago.
Niners Bengals.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something like that. Why not?
Right.
But, yeah. Maybe they make them rotate. There's probably something where they
I'm sure there's some kind of
where they have to.
It's probably flipping ESPN. They're probably involved, and that's why it's so jacked up because they can't get their head out of their ass.
Well, and I don't because they announce the schedule. They do it at the end of the year, right? I mean, it's a yearly thing. It's not like college football where
no. So what
where they schedule. College football, there's games scheduled years.
Yeah, because you do 1-and-1s and 2-and-2s.
Right.
No, so actually, what they do in the NFL is the schedule isn't even released until March.
Yeah, so
it's after the Super Bowl. So they release the schedule, and they don't even release times and dates. They just
show who's playing who.
So the 49ers did a home and away, and then they picked the Hall of Fame. I don't know. ESPN's got to be involved. That's why it's jacked up. Good God, I hate ESPN. I just it's just such it just took such a nosedive from what it was.
Well,
was
and we
great.
talked about this on the podcast.
I loved
episodes.
ESPN years ago.
Right.
People were buying the soundtrack for ESPN.
Correct.
Who in the world buys a
Yeah,
soundtrack?
they had the ESPN Jock Jams. I mean,
Yeah.
all those things. I mean, there was all this. Welcome to the program. Or
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I just, good God, and
Yeah,
anything they're involved with now, it's like just whatever. And I just hope they don't jack up college football. I think college football is on its way down, but with this name, image, and likeness thing, I really think in 10 years we're not going to have college football like we've had before. But anyway, that just depresses me. But
It's very sad.
but I'm getting older, so maybe I'll just have dementia at that point, so it won't matter.
Hope not.
Am I close to getting dementia? You're my doctor.
No.
No. Oh, well.
You got to stop banging your head on the wall, though. That CTE is going to get you. How about that?
How about some ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
Is it ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca.
That's how you pronounce it.
Ayahuasca.
I'll do some ayahuasca, or maybe I'll start mixing some kitty litter up in my.
Yeah. So when you mentioned this, because we do just a quick agenda of what we're going to, and I actually told you to stop because I was like, I was like, this just needs to be random. So the first thing I thought you said pre-litter, but it's pretty.
It's pretty
litter.
Yes.
And I was like, what? When I first heard you say it, I was like, pre-litter? Oh no. But pretty litter, that's not any better. So
I
is it a hallucinogen? I mean, is Aaron Rodgers going to sniff it up his nose and
that's probably that could definitely happen.
Yeah. So this gets back to anything to make money.
So
Like ESPN.
let me just so pretty litter.
Pretty litter.
So I'm watching the TV, and this was last night. When we'll get to this in a minute, when someone was supposed to come over and take a look at doing some work for us, but decided to not do that.
They went to Austin's instead.
God, I got to calm down. I was so mad last night. I had my salt lick out. So.
We'll get you some ayahuasca.
Right. I needed it last night. Last night I would have
Or
taken it.
you should have hit some of that Apollo pepper sauce. That might have done
Jacked
it too.
me right up.
Yeah.
I've seen the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
That's not the Lord. That's called high blood pressure.
That's right. That's it. Stroking out.
So I'm watching the TV. First of all, let me say this. I don't have animals, but I did have a cat once. And I've had dogs and whatever, and I know cats use the litter and everything. So So kitty litter's just disgusting.
It's nasty.
It's just, I mean, it's a bucket of pee and poop.
Mm-hmm. That's basically fossilized.
Yeah,
Because the absorbent.
it's just gross.
Yes.
And it destroys toilets if people put it down a toilet.
Oh yeah.
Which my mom did once.
No.
Yeah, she dumped it right in the toilet.
Oh.
Well, I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to flush.
That's actually what they recommend putting in, like if you have excess paint.
Yeah.
Pour the kitty litter in there because it absorbs it and it emulsifies it, and then it's a solid.
I still remember Dad like looking at the toilet. And he's like, okay. He drives to Lowe's and gets another one. 'Cause he's like, this one's done.
It's like, well, we ain't resurrecting this.
This one's done.
Also has toxoplasmosis, from the kitty litter, from the poop and everything. And so, pregnant people are not supposed to change kitty litter. Because
That's right.
Toxoplasmosis. That's your general health statement for the day. Very dangerous. Torches. It's one of the torches. One of the sicknesses that do cross the placental barrier to the baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, toxoplasmosis, rubella, cytomegalovirus.
How about meth?
Herpes.
Is that okay to do?
It's been known to hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
Syphilis, too, your favorite.
Syphilis?
That's one of your favorites. Yeah, syphilis. Syphilis is in the torches also.
Syphilis.
Brought to you by syphilis. Tertiary gamma. Anyway.
So
Sorry.
I'm watching the TV and the commercial comes, and usually commercials just go in and out, right? Like I just don't pay attention to them because
What time of night was this?
not late. No, it's like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Okay, so they're going for the main prime time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Were you watching a throwback of Step by Step and Family Matters?
It's porn.
TGI.
No, it was. Actually, it's funny. I don't really remember what it was I was watching. Actually,
That's okay. Stranger Things. We're catching up on Stranger Things.
No, it was
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. I don't remember.
Pretty Little.
And I was in and out because I was in here doing some stuff.
doing
I was actually playing with the lights and stuff.
yes.
And I was also outside in the shed doing some stuff too. So I was kind of like in the middle
How's
of.
that working for you out in the shed? Oh, we'll get there. Okay.
We'll get there.
I'm just rising you up a little bit. Just getting a little getting a little fired up.
People are the worst. So
Humans. So Pretty Litter.
So
we're not even going to get to Pretty Litter, are we?
Most of the time, commercials just go in and out. Because again, I was in radio. I've done commercials.
Right.
So it just doesn't register with me
Yes.
like it does in
Yes.
most people.
Yes.
But this one caught my attention. So kitty litter is gross.
Yes, it is.
It's just gross.
So they made Pretty Litter.
And so if I were going to buy kitty litter, I would make sure it was a dark color, right? Because you can't see the stuff as much. This is a white litter that changes colors.
It's like peeing in the pool and it turns purple. Like-
right.
like
so the
from
cat.
grown- from
so the
grown-ups.
cat. So the cat. Right. It's all turned. Oh my god! They do the overhead where. So when your cat takes a piss,
Yes.
it changes color based on the piss.
Okay.
So
It's PA. It's basically like a litmus test. Is
Yes.
What you're telling me. It's like litmus paper.
so it's like
Okay.
So
they've harnessed the power of litmus paper.
and they're
cat
like,
litter.
so this will tell you about your cat's health.
This is fantastic.
So
Yeah.
it's like oh,
yes.
this term
Aci-
blue, that means
acidic
everything's
or
good
basic
or
or-
whatever.
yeah.
One of the colors.
Here we go.
One of the colors. This is where I want to get to. One of the colors is for if there's blood in your cat's urine. You can't tell me you wouldn't know there's blood. Listen.
Okay, go.
So I've pissed a few times in my life
Yes.
in a toilet,
Yes.
sometimes in other places.
Yes.
No time ever in the history of my life would I not know that there's flipping blood in my urine because it's a different color.
So sometimes this is truth. You can actually have what's called microscopic hematuria, meaning the amount may be significant under the microscope, but not enough where you actually notice the color. If you're seeing pink urine, yep, you're in trouble.
But
tea-colored urine, some people don't notice it, seriously, because sometimes...
But is it a big deal if it's microscopic?
Yes.
I mean...
It's because it can mean either you have... So the mnemonic... And I apologize, folks at home, because I try, but the mnemonic for microscopic hematuria
Yes.
shit. It is.
Which
I'm
stands
sorry.
for?
Stones. So
Yeah.
it could be kidney stone that you may not feel yet.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes they're just sitting up there. And depending on the size, may not matter at all. Sometimes it does because at some point it's going to start to move.
Sure.
And it's going to start to hurt, and it may cause a blockage, and you may end up with backup of the fluid, and it can inflame your ureter as well as your kidney and cause something called hydronephrosis, which can be very dangerous.
Right.
So stones.
Okay.
Hematologic processes, and there's different autoimmune diseases and things like that can that can occur that actually cause blood in the urine that you may not see. Now that may manifest itself with kidney failure. It may manifest itself with kidney failure, lung problems, or chronic sinus problems. There's different things like Cianca vasculitis, multiple myeloma, some of these different things that can cause a little bit of blood. Infection, that's the most common thing. Sometimes we get a little bit of blood before you actually see the bacteria. Sometimes they go hand in hand, but infection can cause that microscopic hematuria. Trauma, that can be from a catheter, or if you get somebody kicks you in the jimmy. I mean, you could be peeing a little microscopic blood. You may not notice it. Tumor, which is the most dangerous one. I mean, a cancer. You can have polyps and other things that are tumors and it not be a cancer, but cancer is the number one thing that you worry about. Because you might have a cancer on your kidney, or you might have a cancer in your bladder, and you may not feel it yet because it's small.
Right.
And actually, I have had a few different patients that had microscopic hematuria. You look at their urine in the cup. I mean, it looks like a normal type of urine, and sure enough, they had bladder cancer. And fortunately, because of that, we run an additional test to see if there's any abnormal cells in the urine. And these people actually end up with bladder cancer.
How many cats have you worked on?
And then tuberculosis is the other thing. So, you know, vet,
so
it's
not really shit. It's like shit. There was 3 T's.
Yeah. But that's it. But that's it. That's how you remember it.
Yeah.
So yes. It's like the cranial nerves. Most things are, you know, a lot of these, I shouldn't say that, a lot of mnemonics in medicine, they're somewhat vulgar or kind of perverted, you know. Yeah. Someday I'll tell you the cranial nerve. You have 12 cranial nerves. The cranial nerve mnemonic.
I'm excited.
I'm not going to tell you on the air.
Okay. I'm excited.
But I'll tell you that bones of the hand.
Does it start with C?
No, it helps you tell whether it's motor based, sensory based, or both. So I'll tell you. Okay.
Did you say motorboating?
Motorboat. Well, that kind of ties in with it if you get real creative. Anyway.
I had an 11-year-old once ask me if I knew what motorboating was. No joke.
Wow.
On a football field. He goes, Coach Dave, you know what motorboating is? I'm like, yes. Why do you know what that is? He goes, you don't know. And I'm like, I do know. And I said,
he must have been watching Wedding Crashers or something like that. I mean, how did that happen?
I don't know.
That's he's oh wow.
We actually, yeah.
Wow.
I should probably stop.
Yes. Don't go. We're gonna get an NC-17 rating. Yes.
So yeah,
he's precocious, right? He was a little precocious.
Yeah, a little precocious.
So anyway, so it actually can happen. So there you go. So that's another kind of medical tie-in thing.
But when we're talking about a cat,
I don't know about pets, man. Now, I mean, here's the thing: if I mean, the cat might be and has a kidney stone. You never know.
One of them was like if your cat's dehydrated or something.
I knew somebody that was doing IVs on the cat, and like basically you get them in the back part of their skin. You just shove things like just above their tail. There's like IV access there and crap. And anyway, man, it's not. I dude, people do crazy things for their pets.
They do crazy things with their pets.
Hi-ho, silver, away.
You just keep licking that salt, boy.
Yeah. That's so bad. That was a Lindsay story. We'll leave that alone. Yeah. Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
It was a Lindsay story that we brought full circle.
That's right, just leave. Yeah, just
we brought full circle.
So anyway, so it shows you. So I mean, how accurat's that? I have no idea.
Of course, it's not accurate.
Because I mean,
litter. There's turds in there. It's not accurate. I mean, a cat's taking a shit in this. I mean, it's not accurate. I mean,
isn't that an uncomfortable thing when its head like popped out from the box and you know it's just dropping a hot deuce in there and you're just like, dadgummit. It's like it wants to celebrate it. Perched up like a lion. It's like, you... Yeah.
Dogs always look so apologetic.
Yeah,
they're always like, I'm sorry, but this has got to come out.
Or they eat it. You know, that's it.
Or they
just eat it.
That's the best way.
Then they want to come lick your face. You're like, no, don't. Dun, 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 don't touch me. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, so pretty litter. So
that was it with pretty litter.
pH balanced. So was it strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman?
Right.
Is that it? Oh my gosh. Okay. So now they're helping vets everywhere catch and snuff out disease much quicker.
Yeah.
With doo-doo mixed with pee-pee.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
So not only...
Why do we not invent that?
Well, I mean, not only do you have to clean the litter now...
you have to look at what color.
Now you have to look at,
Do they have like a color indicator, like a key? Do they have a key indicator? Like, I guess that's how they do that.
I know the commercial had like all the colors.
There you
so
go.
Whatever cat that was has lots of problems.
It's got, yeah, right. Your cat's going to die. Why? Because my litter box lit up like a firework.
It's pretty litter.
Oh,
look, Mom, the litter's red. Oh, shit.
This is no good.
Tootsus is dead.
No, Tootsus. Tootsus,
the driving cat.
The driving cat. Oh, my goodness. Why did we not invent this?
I don't know. This is, I mean, I keep coming to your office, man.
And stuff like that just doesn't pop in my head. I mean, I just I would never. I would never. And it was
By
on
the way-
primetime TV.
Yeah. And by the way, your
Advertising.
your staff, I think your staff's always like on guard with me. Like they don't think I'm being serious about anything, which I'm usually not.
I mean, that's possible. They probably learned from experience.
Yeah. So like, I think even if I said, "Hey, I just peed blood," your staff would be like, "Yeah, whatever."
Like, did you really? Did you really?
Yeah.
Right.
So, that was pretty later.
That was our random checkpoint for the day.
That was our random check.
Which leads you into the fact, you know why we can't think about that kind of stuff, Dave? Because people won't come to do jobs and won't come to work, and it stresses us out. We're trying to get stuff done, and it's hard to understand. So, and I think it's all over the place. So my talking point for you, and then I'm just going to let you go because I know you got some things you want to say. I did read an article in USA Today, and there's no way I believe this. It said all 22 million jobs, pre-pandemic that were wiped out have now been restored fully. People have taken these jobs, and unemployment's at its lowest rate since, I don't know, whatever, a decade ago at 3.5%.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking about that, and I'm going, there are help wanted signs all over the place. And I know this is not just native to Knoxville.
Right.
And people do not have help. I mean, you go other places, and they're like, sorry, we're closed because we don't have enough help to serve. Like I went to an adjacent county. They have a little ice cream shop down there. And it was on a Friday. Took the girls down there. We're like, let's just get a little hot dog, get a little ice cream, just a little something easy on a Friday. Get home, have some fun. They were closed because they didn't have enough people to serve.
Of course,
on a Friday, which would be like one of their bigger days.
Yeah,
and they were just straight up closed. Little mom and pop operation, but closed. And I mean, of course, the girls were devastated.
Right.
And I'm just like this. So
they're princesses.
So they are.
They're princesses.
And so I just don't. I'm not buying it. So on that note, Dave Mann. DM. Don't. I'm going to DM you. Go. You go. Your time to shine.
What are you doing to me?
Right.
So
ayahuasca.
A lot of folks
Ayahuasca.
listen to us, and a lot of folks of different political mindsets.
Yes, absolutely.
And just so folks know, we're not supposed to talk about politics and religion. But
We don't talk
but I
about
don't care. I talk about all my stuff.
politico.
I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. I kind of consider myself like a libertarian.
Depends on what's going on, right? You're like, I can see this or no.
I tend to be a little more conservative.
Yeah.
But some other stuff, I'm like, whatever. Do whatever the hell you want to do.
Traditional, by that definition, it's more socially liberal-ish and more fiscally conservative.
Yes.
By definition.
By definition.
By definition.
And the reason I bring that up is because I'm gonna say something about Trump, and people like and don't like Trump, and I really don't give a shit what people think. Here's what I know about Trump: good business guy. Did he say some stupid stuff? Yes.
Yeah.
Was he the absolute 100% best choice at president? I don't think that's ever happened. That's never happened because Joe Montana's never been president. But so I mean, we've never had the perfect president, right?
Agree.
But every once in a while we have a president. And by the way, I would definitely not consider myself a Democrat, but I'm listening to Barack Obama's book right now about his presidency and everything. Very good book, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
I think it's hard to argue. I mean, I think quick interjection. I do think President Obama is well spoken.
Very much so.
I think it would be hard to disprove that.
Yeah. He's very direct in his speech, and
and obviously, highly intelligent. There's
ridiculous.
You can't dispute that. Anyway,
it's a good book. The reason I'm saying all that is because I want to start with something that Trump said years ago when the pandemic started, people started having employees go home and all this stuff, and he said, "Listen, this is all great and good, but the end result of this is going to be people who do not want to work."
Yes,
that's the end result. And
he did. That is true. He said that.
So this is
we got to get back.
He's like, this can't last for a long time because and of course he got Biden and everything. It was like, no, you're being ridiculous. He called him a clown and all this stuff, which it's interesting coming from Joe Biden, calling anyone a clown,
right?
Because I mean, come on. But anyway, all that to say, we're seeing that manifest now.
Right.
I've got a little shed out back,
The he shed.
little shed, little 10 by 12.
He shed. She shed.
She shed.
It's not a she shed.
It's not a she shed.
Lindsay ain't going out there.
No, I don't even think she's even been in it. She's like, yeah, whatever, that's yours. And it's not anything, amazing.
Haven't had to take Landon out there. Taking you out to the woodshed, boy.
No.
Okay.
Paxton enjoys it.
Of course
he likes
does.
running around.
Of course he does.
I
can see that.
So even getting this shed installed was an ordeal.
Right.
It was.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like a 1-day job. It took 2 because the guy came to do it and brought his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was not Chelsea. Okay, so she laid in the shed while he was working.
We almost made a whole show. I was wondering how you gonna.
Oh, I'm not. She's got to be.
Every show. I was just curious. Yeah, that's pretty good. That was good. That was good.
She's doing fine, by the way.
Oh, good.
She's doing well.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
So anyway, so it took a couple days because of that, and like he just wasn't much of a worker and whatever. So anyway, it did get installed. The problem that I've had recently is I need some electrical work done,
Right.
and I don't know how to do all that stuff.
Right.
And I also need some fiber optic cable.
Yes.
Multimoto M4 to be
Yes.
precise, which is that spool right there.
Yes. I see this.
Which I'm using the whole spool.
Yes.
So to test it out. So what's funny is most people would see this as, like, how are you going to like network all that stuff and make all your IT stuff work and everything? Like, that's the easy part. You just get me electrical out there and somebody trenches the fiber. I'll make everything else work. It's not a problem.
If you build it.
Yeah,
It will
it's not a big deal. I actually hung the insulation myself because I can't get anybody to do that.
Wow.
I'm not done with it, but
Yeah, you're doing it.
I'm doing it. I've never done that before in my life.
Doing it and doing it and doing it well.
But what I can't get someone to do is to do the electrical. I just can't. And so like, we had a family member come out, and he's an electrician, great guy. And he's just like, I'm super busy, let me give you some names of some folks. Right.
Right.
And
Right.
so, and I totally get it. His kid plays sports. I totally understand it.
Right.
Like, I'm in the same boat.
Life has a tendency to get it.
So
and he has another job. I mean,
he has another job.
He has a full-time job of which he is responsible for
Right.
during the week.
And so he said,
therefore,
Right.
you're talking about a side action, side hustle job for him.
yeah.
And he ain't got no time to side hustle.
He's got no time.
So what do you? I mean, you can't do anything about that.
So what he did offer was, he said, "Hey, listen, I'll give you this, a couple other people that can do it."
Which that was.
And he
cool.
says, and then I will actually come and do like all the inside the building wiring it up because I trust. He's a certified electrician. I trust him.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'd feel.
Well, no, that's why ideally, you'd love for him to do all of it because then you're just like, okay,
I trust
now.
him.
Now, right, we're good
'Cause it's done
we're good
correctly.
because he's going to do it. Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I'm like, I'm good with that. So he gives us a name, and this person, like, I can't get them out, and like I text this person, and
and this is what they primarily do, right? I mean, they don't have another job.
Nope, this is their job.
This is okay. I got you. Okay.
So nothing, right? Nothing.
Crickets.
So
we're chirping.
When they finally text back,
Yeah.
it was, sorry, I was busy. Didn't get back to you. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, hey, where do you guys live? Told him nothing. Then I text him back. I'm like, do you not want the money?
Right.
I'm confused. Like, you do this for a living.
Yet.
And so nothing. So I've heard nothing from him. So screw that asshole. So
Not that he's mad.
no, screw him. I hope he's listening to this. I really do. I mean, you know what? Call me, and we'll. As a matter of fact, come over and we'll talk about it out back. So then
You're gonna go to the woodshed.
yeah. So then somebody last night is supposed to come.
Oh,
And they're
I'm
like-
gonna take a sip of my Mio.
Go ahead. And then
It's over caffeinated.
So somebody comes. It was supposed to come last night, and at like after 9 o'clock, they're like, "Hey, I'm just now getting around to this or whatever." And it's like it's an outdoor job. What you're not going to be able to see anything,
Right.
So Lindsay's like, "Just forget it." And like I can't get anybody to call me back. I can't. And you're right. And you drive around town, and there's help wanted signs everywhere. Who would have thunk years and years ago that places like Arby's, McDonald's, McWendy's, McChick-fil-A, all the other places would be paying what they're paying per hour. I mean, there's an Arby's close by that's like paying like $15 an hour for somebody to come work it.
I know somebody that was working at a Petros making like $12.50.
Yeah.
And was literally going to leave the Petros because felt like they should get more money. This is a young person that is still in high school. And I was like, you're going to what? Yeah, I think I can get more. I need more money. I can get more money. Wow.
You know how much I made in high school at Long John Silver's when I was a cod flipper?
$5.45.
No, $4.25.
Minimum wage was
$4.25.
I think at one point because it kind of came up.
And folks, I want you all to, if you're listening to this, just take a moment of reflection, and do the math in your head. $4 an hour.
And you thought you were balling.
Oh.
Now, I mean, now inflation's happened. I mean, we've had some things change.
Get that paycheck for like $105. I'm like, yeah.
I'm big balling.
I'm going to
go to the
Taco
Sizzler.
Bell.
Going to the Sizzler. That's it. We're going to the Sizzler. Yes.
When I got a job in radio, the first gig that I had there when it was hourly was $5 an hour. $5 an hour. $5.
Yeah.
$5 an hour.
My first job, I got $5 cash under the table.
Oh, it's even better.
You know.
Did you let the IRS know?
I did. Paid my taxes. I did.
Right.
I did. Right. We're keeping track. Keeping track.
Doc owes the IRS $3.
That's it. That's what we did.
IRS, they can go to hell too. So I mean, what Trump said. You can love him, hate him. I really don't care. But what he said is 100% true. Nobody wants to work anymore, and now we have to. We're doing hybrid work schedules,
right?
So people can like work from home or whatever. And I have been blessed in my career for what I do. I could work from home all the time if should I choose to do so.
Yes. Because
what I do is
right.
But I'm in management, so like I feel like I need to be in the office.
You need to be around your people,
and I feel like I do better if I'm going to work. Like it's weird to get up, take a shower, and come in here, and work. And I've done it before. You don't have that luxury because otherwise patients have to come to your house,
right? Or you do a bunch of telehealth, which is not really enjoyable for me because I do still think physical exam is an important thing of the patient, which a lot of it's normal.
You can't catch syphilis over the web,
right. So but
you can watch somebody eat a Subway sandwich.
So it's actually been beneficial to me through all this because I had to go to work. I mean, I needed to go to work,
right.
And so that's actually been better.
So I think about these people that won't even come over here. And listen, you folks don't know this. You know this about me, and people that know me. I don't just like. I don't try to skimp on anything if I'm paying somebody to do something. That is not how I operate.
Right.
Listen, you're going to be compensated.
Right. We're not going to sit there and debate. No, it's like
you tell me how much it is. Okay.
Right. And we're good.
And generally speaking, and Lindsay will attest to this because she just shakes her head at me. Someone will say, "Hey, Dave, I'll do this for $100." I give them $150 when it's done.
Right.
Because thank you for coming and doing it.
Right. And you did a good job.
And
so thank you for doing a good job.
And I want to take care of you.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that always tips 25 to 30%.
Yep.
I'm that guy because I appreciate people that work.
Right. Now, if you do a bad job, ooh.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get you. No. I think that's a good way. I think
I'm even the kind of guy that even if you do a bad job, I'm probably going to pay you more just because I'm just that guy. I just am.
That's hard. I will say that's hard for me to give you more money than because we already know you're making money on it, and if you don't do good work, it's like
I'm just.
But if you do good work, a tip is very.
I'm just way too nice.
That's okay.
But
you can't get anybody out here.
No, but nobody will come, and it's like,
and that's you're not alone.
No,
I mean it's contract workers. I mean real estate, food service.
Yeah.
Healthcare, because I mean one of the big things right now is the nurses, and they're underpaid. Okay, we'll just
of course they are
nurses. So, but they're doing travel nursing because they can get way more than what they would make traditionally at a local hospital.
Yeah,
And the local hospitals will pay people to come in from outside, and they'll pay them more money to help staff, and they get a stipend to live on.
Right.
And these people, I mean, they'll just go up to Kentucky for the week. You know, they'll do 3 night shifts in a row and come home, be off for 4 days.
Yeah.
You know, and they get more time with their family, and they're making like 3 times as much.
Yeah.
Why would you not do that?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so but then you don't have anybody locally that wants to work because they all want to do the travel thing.
It just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It's just, I just, you know, so you have a generation of people who are entitled,
Yes.
and you couple that with this pandemic, which
And-
I have all kinds of opinions about a pandemic. I mean, we don't do this for the flu. I mean, we don't wear a mask and go nuts for the flu. We don't, I mean,
The thing that happened with this, I will say this, it's just like when everything shut down the first time.
Yeah.
The real crux of that was what everybody really got fearful of. Because we didn't know, and we still don't understand a lot about it, but in the beginning, the hospitals being overrun
yeah,
with disease for this specifically, and then you still have all the other diseases, coronary artery disease, you know, or cardiovascular, I should say, because that would encompass heart attack,
Yeah.
stroke, pneumonia from bacteria, you know, blood infections, car accidents, you know, all these different things. And then you're overwhelmed because of COVID. So that was really the main thought process for that original shutdown. And a lot of people got really mad about it, but it was the fear
yeah,
because there was no way to predict it. I mean, the models were like, well, it's this. No, it's this. And everybody's like, we have no idea.
right.
And so it's like, we just, you know, it's like turn the light switch off. Let's just try to reset the system for a second. Turn it off.
Yeah,
It wasn't really a great move.
right.
But it was at the time. That's one of the few that I'm like, yeah. But if it'd gone the other way and really turned bad, that was at least a way to try to save it. That was part of it. So I think that's where it got all crazy, is just all the unknown, and it's still crazy. We still don't know a lot. But it's, you know. But now the problem is people got used to a new system, and that's not really how the world is meant to work.
People were making more staying home.
Correct. And saving more money too, because they weren't having to commute. They were fixing their own meals. They had more free time, which that actually economically, I mean, that's opportunity cost. So they actually were gaining cost of time
Yeah,
to do other stuff. And it was just like, oh. And maybe they were working as hard, maybe they weren't. They were still getting their jobs done, but it's a whole lot different when your boss is walking around, you know, actually supervising.
yeah.
So,
Well, and I mean, and people
and
that
everybody
were,
now, great resignation. That's
and then
what this
people were
period's called.
unemployed,
Right.
and making tons of money on
'cause-
unemployment.
Yep.
I know somebody personally who was making more on unemployment than they were
Yep.
at the job that they were at.
Yep. I believe
Now,
that.
I was unemployed at a certain part of that, and I was not. So I was not overly happy with it. And like, it drove me nuts. And I'm like, people, no one's ever going to go back to work. And that's where we're at.
And that's,
I,
what, that's what
can't-
happened. I know USA Today said that. I just don't believe it.
I don't either. I don't believe it at all.
And again, politically, you could make, you know, it seems difficult to put those numbers, and statistics can always be,
Yeah.
you know, interpreted a certain way, you know.
Right.
So I don't know how they got those numbers, but that's what they said. I just find it hard to believe when not just here, other places,
Yeah.
that they're literally having to close doors, shorten hours, you know, close altogether, you know, whatever, because they don't have it. People aren't working. I'm like,
Yeah.
if there's that many people back in the workforce, why are we having such a problem?
I mean,
And the other thing is the overhead's gone crazy for these companies too, because now they're paying a lot more than what they were
Oh,
before.
yeah.
And I mean, and so then therefore, what happened? The price of the food went up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what. And so if you look, the prices of everything have gone up. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? They ain't coming back down.
Nope.
So there you go.
I mean, the work I need done is like 8 hours worth of work.
Yeah. Like a day.
It's
a day.
It's ridiculous.
A day.
And I can't get anybody to even come out here and look at it.
That's the part that gets me is like, I mean, at least come and look at it, and you have kind of a figure in your mind what you pay, bid on it, and just see. Because here's the thing: if you're that busy, a lot of times they will just bid it out for a price.
Yeah.
And if you say, "Yeah, I'm good with that," then they'll be like, "Okay, I'll do it." That's kind of how it works. But yeah, to not even come out.
Because, I mean, listen, these electricians and stuff, and I understand that, like, there's a big demand in the housing market right now because new neighborhoods are getting built.
True, and a lot of them, that's
and all
what
that stuff.
they've gotten plugged up with the real estate part.
But let me tell you, that's going to burst, and it's going to be ugly.
Right, and then you don't have built up clientele and referrals from existing people. You know,
because banks are already saying, like, hey, we're lending a ton of money right now.
Oh, it's going to pop
for people who really can't afford this. And if you're paying $500,000 for a house, that's really not worth that. Who in the world would have ever thought the housing market would have got to the point where your house doesn't, appreciate in value? I mean, that's where we're at. It's almost like the automotive. Like when you drive off the lot with your new Lamborghini, it's already worth about $5,000 less than it was,
if not more. Because of the the $250,000 price tag or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right.
These houses that you're buying for $500,000 right now are not worth that.
Right. The big thing that's saving it is you have a lot of people transplanting from other places. Well, they have more cash, and so you're not. When the whole thing with Fannie Mae, Fannie Mac back in 2008, when the market burst the first time, I mean, that was awful. And so there are some checks in there, but they are loaning. Yeah, now we're kind of into this. Initially, it was all cash deals, and now you are seeing this, and so it's going to happen. You just hope that the banks can somehow stave some of this off, but it's just hard to do.
Put your money in your mattress, folks.
Right.
That's where you put it.
Right. I'm serious.
I mean, it's like like the dude that won the whatever $1 billion, it's like, hey, invest some of that, but put some of it in your shed.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah. Cash is not a bad thing.
Cash is not about Cash Monet.
Cash Monet, right? Cash Monet
with a K.
Right. Cash Monet is not a bad thing right now because it's just so volatile and we just don't know what's going to happen.
So, I mean, if any of you folks know an electrician out there,
please give us a holler, right?
Let me know.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about electrical, do you?
No, man.
No. Yeah. Me either. I'm terrified of electrical. Positive and
negative. I can turn the breaker box off, and we can kind of figure out what's happening.
I could do that.
That's it.
That's about the limit of my knowledge too.
I can wire, like if there's existing wiring, I can turn the power off. Like I can replace a ceiling fan. Like that's not.
Oh, can you?
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yes. It's actually not that hard.
It looks really difficult to me. I'm not very smart either. So.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
No. It can be done. Like I said, the biggest thing is, it's like when we had all our smoke detectors in our old house, just they're all hardwired together. And they all died. Well, all I did was just undo the wiring. The big thing is don't let the wires touch, or don't touch them both and close the signal, which happened one time accidentally when my big old meat hook hit the I guess that was the positive end, and I had a hold of the negative, just for a second. I had good circulation after that. It was pretty awesome. I was like, man, I actually feel pretty good. That was very intentional. But I changed out like 22 smoke alarms, and then you have the hard wire, the green wire that connects them all together. So if one goes off, the other ones start going off.
Right.
Anyway, so but like new wiring,
I don't think I could do any of it.
I got nothing.
I don't think I could do any of it.
We could try it. We could read, and it's just you just have to. You had to take the time.
Yeah.
To try to understand it.
And I don't want to do that.
Well, another thing is, if you mess up, then you have a house fire.
Right. And that's why I want an electrician to do this.
Let me let the man or woman who is certified, went to school, did the apprenticeship, probably been doing it for a while. Let me just let them do that.
Right.
Because if we mess this up, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
Big problem. And it's all on you or me.
Yeah. And if the shed burns down, then like all my stuff burns and I'm very upset.
Right.
Like all my servers and all my stuff.
And that would be bad.
That'd be bad.
I
don't want any part of that. So
in the he shed.
Shed.
Folks, if you know an electrician, holler at Dave, man.
Right?
Go to the website. It's DaveAndDoc.com. Well, my man,
Listen, you've got a career in radio.
we can make it happen. Packers 49ers preseason game coming this week. I'm going to watch it. I hope it's on like NFL Network or ESPN or something.
I hope it's not on ESPN.
I bet it is.
Probably.
I bet it's going to be. You just wait and see. But I'm excited about it.
Some jackhole.
I want to see some Trey Lance. I do. And
he probably won't play.
And some ayahuasca.
The preseason's so terrible. It's like on the next episode, we're going to be drinking ayahuasca.
Yep, and some hot sauce.
We do need to do the hot sauce thing. We need to work on that so we can
maybe some boneless nuggets, so then we just a little small bite.
Okay, we can do that.
All right,
and we'll be throwing up on the.
It'll be all right. I'll pour the milk on my head. It'll be okay. Milk on my face. It'll be okay.
We'll do the hot ones thing where I'm asking you questions and trivia stuff.
That'd be good. We can do it. We can do it. We can make it happen.
What's the worst case of syphilis you've ever seen? Who eats a Subway sandwich when visiting their doctor? You know I'm going to do it now.
I mean, the best thing was, yeah. Yeah, Yeah.
Did she weigh when she came in? Because that's always what they do with me.
Oh,
they
yeah.
always make me weigh.
Oh, yeah. No, that's called part of your vital signs.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how that's how it calculates your
did
body.
she weigh
your body
with
mass.
the Subway sandwich?
No. It was in her purse. Because she had one of those big purses, one of those life bags, I like to call it. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I just said Subway.
Eats fresh.
Eat fresh.
Free
Go
plug.
visit Jared.
Another potential
prison.
Dang.
He's still in prison, right?
I don't think he's getting out anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He did some bad things.
Oh, we did.
That's Anyway, folks, tell them how they can listen to us if they choose to. Because
if you really want to.
We just devolve each week. It's awesome.
So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn, Alexa, Podcast Addict, Pocket Cast, Overcast, or you can visit us on the YouTube.
On the YouTube, YouTube.
You can actually watch us. If you're watching us right now, I'm pointing at you.
Me too.
And you can get there by youtube.com. Or you can go to our website. Easiest way, because all the videos, audio, everything's there at DaveDoc028.com.
One-stop shopping.
It's DaveAndDoc.com.
Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, all our
Germany,
listeners.
Canada, and all you
Y'all
folks out there. That's it. Show 28, right?
Yep.
Look at that. We made it.
Out next week.
Yep.
Out for just a second, but we'll be back the week after.
That's right. Yeah.
Back in the habit.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll take a week off and then
back.
Yeah, and then
have
we're
more
back
stories, more football,
probably way more stories,
and maybe some electrical will be done.
Probably not.
Sit on your thumb and spin on it. No, don't do it. Thank you. Bye.
See you, folks.